Hi everyone, so we are back ready to do our own slides now and to prepare wet slides. And I think I'm going to change this up a bit to include a few other materials that you're going to need. You're going to need one of your beakers. You're going to need some water in the beaker. Best to use distilled water if you have it or filtered water. You're going to need your labels from your cover slip container and a Sharpie to write on those labels, preferably a really thin tipped Sharpie. And you're also going to need a scissor to cut out your E. All right, so when you're looking for that E to cut out, please use a lowercase e. And the reason that the lowercase e is used is because you are looking at orientation of the E, and that curve is going to help you to know whether or not you are moving left or moving right by looking at the curve. If you use a capital letter E, you will find that you will have a really hard time knowing if you're going up or down because the E kind of has a very symmetrical look to it. So please use a lowercase e. And when you get your E and you have your blank slide available, you're going to need to look for your cover slip. I am warning you, these cover slips are very thin, as cover slips are, but also they tend to stick together. So make sure you go through it with your nail to make sure you only have one cover slip here, and put that aside so that you're ready to go. When you get your slide, I just had my slide here. Okay, I'll use another slide. When you get your slide, you will notice that there is a slight indentation where the glass is a little bit lower than the frosting on the top. That provides a little well for you for your wet mount. The fact that there's a little bit of a difference in elevation on both sides of this. And you are going to be starting with 1 drop of water in the well and adding your E to it. You're starting with 1 drop of water from your pipette with your water. Remember, to operate a pipette, you squeeze the top first, then put it down into the water, and the water comes up through the pipette. Now you only need 1 drop. So use a little technique and very, very gently put 1 drop in. More is not better for this. 1 drop. There you go. All right. And then put your E on your wet drop gently. You can lay it in with a really nice technique on a 45-degree angle that avoids some water bubbles underneath. And then take your nice cover, your slide cover, and the same thing. Avoid water bubbles by using a technique that looks at a 45-degree angle for placing that on your slide. Now, I'm using a letter E here. I don't have gloves on at this time because I'm working with the paper letter E, and I'm working with water. And when I am working later with other substances, I will be wearing my gloves and I will be better protected, and you will see that. So here is your slide, your wet slide, and you are going to use your wet slide with your microscope. Now, when you have your microscope here, you're going to be mounting your slide onto your microscope. Keep track of the direction that your E is in. Is it so that you can read it as you are looking at your slide from here? Is that a proper letter E? Because you are going to be noting the orientation of that letter E when you see it under your objective. You are using the compound light, the bottom light for this. You are starting at 4 and taking a look at what you're seeing on the 4x objective. Take a look at the orientation of the letter E, and does it change or is it the same? And hypothesize about what would happen if you moved your slide over to the right. does your whole image in the eyepiece move to the right as well? I want you to hypothesize this about this first. You're going to be putting that into your report sheet, and hypothesize always with an if-then statement. If I move my prepared wet slide on the stage to the right, then I predict that my oriented E will move to the right or the left when I look through the eyepiece. So put in a hypothesis, then make an observation by making that happen, and record your observation as well. All right. You are also going to be looking for a real good light filter on your objective here. Now, this objective is something that you're going to need to move with one finger, and it doesn't really have, it has a very subtle click to it to go from one objective to the other. But from what I am noting in this, there is a red lens, a green lens, and a blue lens. And there are approximately 4 other white light lenses or clear lenses. So check them out and see what you think of them under 4X, and then give a look at them under 40X. And what happens to the light available for your observation. So you will record that in your report sheet as well. Keep this slide, please. You will need it later. All right. Now to look at the next observation, you're going to be looking at focus and depth and your threads. So why don't you make sure that you have 3 threads available in different colors, and you have your beaker and your water and your pipette, your blank slip, your cover slip, your blank slide, and your distance learning microscope as well there. All right, and I'll meet you on the other side for that.